Next here to an angry war of words tonight over one of the most solemn duties of the president, the commander-in-chief, comforting the families of the fallen. A task rarely discussed, but the president brought it up this week, comparing himself to his predecessors. And now tonight, one of his own calls to this widow under growing scrutiny. Here's ABC senior White House correspondent Cecilia Vega.
Maisha Johnson was there to receive her husband's remains, their 6-year-old daughter by her side. Johnson, 6 months pregnant with their third child. As she wept over Sergeant LaDavid Johnson's flag-draped coffin, she gave a last kiss. Just moments before, that phone call from President Trump. Maisha Johnson answered in the car, and listening on speakerphone, her local Congresswoman, Democrat Frederica Wilson.
I heard him say, well, I guess you know he knew what he was signing up for, but it still hurts. And I couldn't believe that he said that.
Wilson says the president never mentioned Sergeant Johnson by name.
He kept referring to him as your guy. He never called his name. So that was even more painful.
But today, President Trump disputed that.
She said, I had a very nice conversation with the woman, with the wife, who sounded like a lovely woman, did not say what the Congresswoman said, and most people aren't too surprised to hear that.
And on Twitter, he said, Democrat Congresswoman totally fabricated what I said to the wife of a soldier who died in action. And I have proof. Sad.
What proof does President Trump have when he says Congresswoman Wilson is not telling the truth? Are there recordings of his phone call with Maisha Johnson?
No, but there were several people in the room from the administration that were on the call, including the Chief of Staff, General John Kelly.
But Sergeant Johnson's mother said she too heard that phone call, and she confirmed Wilson's account to the Washington Post, saying President Trump did disrespect my son and my daughter, and also me and my husband. President Trump started the firestorm himself with the false claim that past presidents, including President Obama, did not personally call the grieving families of fallen soldiers.
The traditional way, if you look at President Obama and other presidents, most of them didn't make calls. A lot of them didn't make calls. I like to call when it's appropriate, when I think I'm able to do it.
He said he's called nearly every family.
I have called, I believe everybody, but certainly I'll use the word virtually everybody.
There have been families that have since come forward in this to the Associated Press. Their names are in these reports who say they've not actually heard from this White House in any capacity.
All of the individuals that the president has been presented with through the proper protocol have been contacted through that process.
Today, while one leading Republican insisted the president cares deeply about these families, he also said this.
It's not about how Obama did it versus how I did it. It's about how we should move, how we all should do it. We should all say to every family member of the fallen, you're in our prayers, what can we do to help? So going down the road of suggesting that President Obama didn't do this or didn't do that, I think just took us off base.
Cecilia, President Trump is now facing new questions tonight about another call he made, this time to the father of another fallen soldier, and a promise President Trump made.
David, this father says that President Trump promised him a $25,000 personal check during a phone call shortly after his son's death in June. Today, this father told the Washington Post that check has not yet arrived. Now, the White House tonight, David, is telling us that this check has been sent. They say, however, it is a complicated process for this president to mail personal funds, hence the delay.
Cecilia Vega with us tonight. Cecilia, thank you.